Hi, my name is Sally Jones-Diamond. I am the program director of the crops testing program at Colorado State University. My program is the one that coordinates these trials. We have entries from 5 or 6 different states this year, and we plant these trials. We work with the farmer cooperators, who at this site is Corman Farms, and then we take care of the plots during the field season, take notes. We'll harvest these at the end of the season, and then post-harvest we'll take some notes on the seed sizes, 1,000 seed weights, and then we'll do a data analysis on all the yield, and all of the results from these trials are made public with funding help from Colorado Dry Bean Administrative Committee, the Colorado Department of Ag, CSU Extension, and some private seed companies who pay to enter their varieties in our trials. And all the results are available on csucrops.com at the end of the season. We also publish a technical report through the Ag Experiment Station at CSU that has all of the trial results in one little booklet. This year at this site at Yuma, we have 4 separate trials. We have these longer 150-foot long strip trials that are 4 rows wide each. Each of these 6 varieties are replicated 3 different times. We also have a small plot variety trial that has entries from public breeding programs across the U.S. from Michigan to Washington State, and some from CSU. We also have some product application trials for companies, and then we also have a seeding rate by row spacing study.
Hi, I'm Ryan Erickson with Farmer Bean and Seed here in Yuma, Colorado. Today we're going to go through the Colorado State University pinto bean trials and talk about a few of the varieties. First one here is the Palomino pinto, developed by NDSU in North Dakota. It has a resistance to BCMV. It has some upright plant architecture, and it's 94 days. Palomino is a direct harvestable variety. As you can see here, these plants are full of pods, and the senescing is very uniform. One of the nice things about this variety is it's suited for the heat here in Colorado, and we get lots of full pods. Occasionally you see one that has a bean or some heat stress, but that's typical for the year of 2022 crop. The experimental variety NE17 from UNL, bred by Dr. Carlos Urrea, is a variety that we're excited about here in Colorado. It is a slow darkening variety, like some of the others in the plot. It's an 85 to 90 day maturing variety, so it is something that is well suited for this environment. It's also a semi-upright plant with direct harvestability, has rust resistance and BCMV. Very similar to the Palomino and another slow dark in this plot. You can see that this variety is very direct harvestable. It stands up. Unique to Carlos's varieties, they're very early. We have good pod fill on all these despite the heat we've had in the 2022 growing season, as well as a very uniform senescing.
Hi, I'm Don Pope, the field man for Farmer Bean in Yuma, Colorado. We're looking at NE218-3, which is a new variety from Nebraska. This is a traditional pinto. So Ryan Erickson was talking about slow darkening pintos. This one's not a slow darkening, it's more of a traditional pinto, which here in the Rocky Mountain region, we can raise really high quality traditional pintos. They just don't necessarily have quite the shelf life of a slow darkening pinto. This variety is about a 93-94 day variety, so it's going to be just a little bit longer season than a couple of the other traditional pintos, Windbreaker and SV6139, that I'll talk about here in a few minutes. This variety is not really made for direct harvest. It's got a little bit more vining than the Windbreaker and the SV6139, so it's designed for more of your traditional pinto harvest. And as we get in here and look at the plants and the pods, you'll see here in a minute we've got a lot more green pods here than we do on the other two varieties with the fuller season bean. But we're not too far behind, so I think this bean will work great in this area in the future.
This is the Stay Bright variety. It is also a slow darkening variety. As you can see, it's very upright, has some great plant architecture. This variety was developed here for Colorado. I haven't had a lot of experience with it. I'm not completely sure what kind of disease packages it has with it, just because there isn't a lot of published information. Again, the Stay Bright has a very nice plant architecture, very suitable for direct harvest here. The pod set can be a little bit inconsistent at times, and one of the things that I've noticed about the Colorado heat with this variety is you can see pods that don't fill from time to time. Still a very steady yielder and a decent player for the Colorado market.
Okay, so I'm standing in the middle of, I have Windbreaker on my right and SV6139 on my left. These two pinos are very similar to each other. They're both semi-upright varieties. SV6139 is a newer variety that's come out. It's partially based off of Windbreaker, and another variety called Medicine Hat is how they came up with 6139. They're both semi-upright varieties. They're both resistant to rust and BCMV. The SV6139s are slightly more of an upright pino, a little bit better suited for direct harvest than the Windbreaker, but the Windbreaker can be direct harvested as well. The SV6139 is 1 day shorter than Windbreaker, and we can kind of see that in the plot here today, that the SV6139 is starting to mature just a hair faster than the Windbreaker is. Part of that, I believe, is the maturity, and part of that, I believe, SV6139 has handled the heat really well this year and has kind of continued growing more so than a lot of the varieties in the area. So that's exciting to see. I like, we grow a lot of these two varieties in the area, and I like having both of these varieties on the farm. If we're growing more than one field of pinos, I like having both of these varieties. As we get down here in the canopy, we can see the Windbreaker definitely has a lot more pods that are laying on the ground versus the SV6139, which isn't a problem unless if you're direct harvesting. And if you are going to direct harvest these, we encourage you to plant them on a narrow row, and that'll keep your pods up higher. So we do like seeing the higher pods here on the SV6139 for the farmers that like to do direct harvest on the beans. So as far as the amount of acres that are harvested direct versus more of the traditional, we still have the majority of the farmers harvest pinos in the traditional manner, where they either swath them and pick them up with a pickup head or a picket combine. But there is an increase in interest in direct harvesting beans moving forward.